Good morning, Room 32. Good to see you guys. I'm going to go ahead and start our lesson today, Module 12.3, Division, Thinking Multiplication to Divide Two-Digit Numbers. Now, here on the screen, when we look at this first problem, what do you know about 10 times 3? Well, we learned our tens facts earlier this year, didn't we? So 10 times 3 would equal to 30, correct? Now, if we remember, the 11's facts were double the number that's being multiplied, right? So this is 33. And then if we remember, we can skip count by threes. What would 3 more be? 36. All right. So we can start with facts that we know to help us find out the answers to facts that are unknown, right? So using that as a strategy today will help us with our lesson. Let's look at our next slide here. Our next slide, we have again 10 times 5. So 10 times 5, we know what that answer is, 50, right? And then we know 11 times 5 is 55. And if we add 5 more to that, what do we get? Skip counting by fives. You guys have done that since you were in first or second grade. So that answer is going to be 60, all right? So that is one way we can look at a known fact to help us solve an unknown fact. All right, now let's take a look at this here. We're looking at one more set here. 10 times 6 is 60. 11 times 6, remember we double up, so 66. And then 6 more would be our 12's facts, which would be 72. All right, now let's look at this. 13 times 4. How do you figure out the product? What known multiplication fact could you use? Do you know what 10 times 4 is? Okay. 10 times 4 equals to 40. Okay. And we know 11 times 4 is equal to 44. So 12 times 4, 4 more is what? 48. And then 13 times 4 would be 4 more, so that would be 52. All right, so again, we're using the known fact of 10 times 4 and 11 times 4, and then continuing to skip count by fours to find the answer to the unknown, which was 13 times 4, and the product is 52. All right, let's take a look now. Now we're looking at a division problem. So we have the division problem, which is 42 divided by 3. So how can we use multiplication to solve this problem? Okay. Let's think about it like this. Do we know that we can take this, and we have a fact family, right? 3 times blank equals to 42. Now, I know we dealt with problems like this in class before when we were looking for the unknown in a fact family, right? So what's a fact that we could start with? Well, could we start with multiplying by a known number of 3? So 3 times 10 equals to 30, correct? All right, let's go up. 3 times, and I'm going to move right over here. 3 times 11 equals 33. We're not there yet. 3 times 12 equals 36 because that's 3 more. So we're not there yet. 3 times 13. So 3 more would be 39. And 3 times 14 would be what? That would be 42. All right, so our unknown is 14. That's the missing number. So what did we do? Let's walk through that process again. We started with the fact we knew, right? 3 times 10. And then we continue skip counting to get to the missing factor to help us make the equation be correct, right? To make the equation true. Now, we then use that missing factor to find the unknown quotient, because we know in a fact family there are three numbers, right? And that's how we found the unknown. All right. I think we're going to see something of that nature of what I just showed you, right? So we have our division problem on one side, we have our thinking about multiplication on the other, and we're going to go through that same step. You can see everything we just did. There it is right there, starting with what we know, right? And then working our way down until we found our unknown, and our unknown fit right there because this equation and this equation are the same. And then we took and used that to help us find the unknown quotient in the division problem. So we can use multiplication to help us solve division problems and division problems to help us solve multiplication problems because they are inverse operations like we talked about in class. Let's go ahead and move on to our work pages here. So in your math books, you're going to find we have these pages in our lesson today. Sorry, again, my internet's taking a little while to load our page. Okay, so down here, let's go ahead and go to the single page view, and I'm going to zoom in for us. So let's look here. It says skip count by 4 to complete the equation. All right, so right here, they have already started one. Oh, hang on one second. They've already started one example, right? And here's another example. So each time they're making equal groups of 4. So we would continue to make groups of 4, right? Continue to make groups of 4 until we had done 52 total marks in each, in all the circles combined, right? And then we would go and we would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth until we had all of those circles that had dots in them, and we're going to write our quotient here. All right. We can also think about that in multiplication, right? 4 times 10 equals. Oops, sorry. One moment. Let me get that cleared up. I put an equals a little early. 4 times 10 equals 40, all right? So we know we need at least 10, right? So we continue making these here, okay? I think I got one too many here. Okay, that would equal to, sorry, we got one extra dot out here. Okay, so we know that would equal to a total of 40, but we need to get up to 52. So we could use that as kind of our base to help us get started, then keep going with another one and another one. And that would be the equivalent of 4 times 11, 44, 4 times 12, 48. And then adding one more would actually get us to our final answer, which would be 52. So that would be 4 times 13 equals 52. 13 is our unknown. Okay, so we can use representations with pictures to help us and also using equations. On our second page here, it's asking you to show your thinking. Remember, think multiplication, all right? I'm going to go ahead and have you guys go ahead and work on the lesson today. If you need extra help, remember, I will be available for our math tutoring at 11:30. All right, that's a wrap for now. See you on Zoom.